Hi YouTube. So the other day I was talking to my friend and I was telling her how I was going to start putting videos on YouTube, and she gave me the greatest idea. She told me that I should post a video telling my story about when I got cancer, and I thought it was a great idea because when I found out that I had cancer, I wanted to hear everybody's stories. I wanted to listen to other people just to help me through it, I guess. So I guess I'll start off by telling you how I got it, what kind of cancer I had and all that. So I had melanoma skin cancer, and how I found out that I had it was I had this annoying little mole on my head right here. It was covered by my hair, no one could see it, but I just wanted to get it removed, so I went and got it removed by my skin doctor. And luckily I had a really good skin dermatologist that she sends everything to get biopsied, even if she doesn't think that it looks unnormal or whatever. So 2 weeks later, or not 2 weeks, probably about a week later, I got a phone call and they said that I needed to come into the doctor's office as soon as possible. And I didn't really think there was anything wrong, but I got in there. Me and my mom were sitting in there, and there was on the door there was a poster thing that had all the cancers listed, from all the skin cancers listed from the least worst to the worst. And I looked at it and I said, "Mom, what if I have melanoma?" And she was like, "Oh no, you don't have that. There's no way. Stop acting like that." So then the doctor came in and she grabbed my hand, and I knew it was bad from then. So she grabbed my hand and she said, "I'm sorry to tell you, but we have really bad news for you." She told me that I had melanoma skin cancer, and they said they were very shocked when they heard that I had this, and they didn't think that the biopsy came back right, so they sent it to UCLA. They tested it there. They sent it to another doctor, and they tested it there, and it all came back as melanoma. Why they kept testing it and sending it back and forth to other doctors is because usually melanoma is found in older people, way up there, 80s, whatever, and it's very rare. And since I'm only 18 years old, they thought that maybe there was an error. Maybe my biopsy got switched to somebody else's. So that's why they did that. And then the doctor told me what was going to have to happen. I was going to have surgery. So this was on a Monday. Friday I was being taken in to have surgery. First time I'd ever been into a hospital. I'd never been in a hospital. I never had really needles in me or anything. So I was really scared. And I had to have surgery on my head right here. They had to go down and dig the cancer out, and it was a hole about this big on my head, about that deep. And he cut that out in surgery, and then he put a band-aid inside there because I was going to have surgery again. It was a sewn-in band-aid. Then I had I think it was a week to recover. I wasn't even recovered all the way yet. And they brought me in and I had another surgery, and the second surgery probably was the worst. The first surgery was pretty bad because it was the first time I had surgery at all, but the second one was they cut more. I had cut my head from here all the way back to the back of my head, down to almost my neck, and then they cut from here all the way to here, and then around my ear, and they cut over here too, so they could stretch my skin back together so I wouldn't have a big hole in my head. Oh, and also I forgot, the first surgery I had, I also got not just the hole cut out of my head, I had surgery behind my ear. They cut from the bottom of my ear all the way around up to the top right here, because they had to take lymph nodes out because they were making sure that my cancer hadn't spread to my lymph nodes yet. And luckily it didn't. So after all that, the second one took me 3 months to recover from. I pretty much did not come out of my bed for 3 months. I could not walk. I could not talk for 2 weeks because I was in surgery for 9 hours. So that tube being down your throat, it really makes your throat really sore. So my voice was just like damaged for like 2 weeks or something like that. And since I was on this metal table for so long, I developed bed sores on my butt. I got one on my butt and one on the very bottom of my foot, and they are the most painfulest thing you can ever get in your life. Like, it was more painful than my surgery that I had on my head. And I could not sleep. Like, I had to sleep on my side, and then I couldn't walk. I couldn't walk for like 3 months on the bottom of my foot, so I had kind of like limp. It really sucked. And yeah, so I have a scar from right about here all the way back here, and one here, where the scar down my head is about that wide, and I don't have any hair right there. I did at first, but then after, like, they didn't really shave my head because they knew how much I cared about my hair. So then they shaved just like a little tiny bit, but then after surgery, I guess clumps of my hair just started falling out. And they did shave all right here and behind my ears, so I have these odd little hairs like this one stick out, and I have them sticking up all right here. But yeah, it was a really hard experience to go through, and I was just shocked. Like, I was being told that I had cancer, and then a couple days later I was having to have surgery. It was like the most emotional thing that I'd had ever gone through. And luckily, I have my life here today still. The doctors thought that I wasn't going to make it because how deep my cancer was. But they said it's a miracle that I survived and I have no more signs of cancer, because I just had a PET scan and it was completely clear. So that's good. But the bad news is that I have to have PET scans for the rest of my life. And my blood drawn, which really sucks because I don't like needles. But if you guys want to know any more, I can make another video because I cannot tell this story for days. I have so much to say about this. And if anybody ever like has going through the same thing, has any type of cancer, you could always like chat with me. Send me a message. I'll talk to you. Like, I know it's a hard time, and I will help you if you need some like just somebody to talk to. Because I had people to talk to, but I was so emotional that I really didn't want to talk to like my family about it or anything like that. So I know talking to someone else is always better than your family, because it's so emotional to talk about. When you try to talk about it, you just cry. So, yep, if you have any questions or anything, just send me a message or anything. Thank you. Bye. Oh, and subscribe.